Hey everybody, it's me again. Today we're going to be tasting a bunch of macaroni and cheese, which I've been looking forward to this because I love macaroni and cheese, and even boxed macaroni and cheese, like Kraft macaroni and cheese, whatever. It's one of the first things that I learned how to cook when I was a kid. Make the macaroni and cheese, put it in a can of tuna, put crumpled potato chips on top of it, put it in the oven, or eat it without the oven if you were that hungry. It's like the official food of the latchkey kid. Yeah, so today I've got two different variants. We have Canadian Kraft Dinner, and then we have American Kraft Macaroni and Cheese, and real tiny there, you can real see, real dinner. So this, I think the dinner thing comes from 1920s, 1930s, when a big bowl of macaroni and cheese would feed your family. And the Depression during World War II, eating macaroni and cheese for just your evening meal was not considered a weird thing. There were things, meatless Tuesdays back in the day, where you would not eat meat on a given Tuesday. So macaroni and cheese was a way of getting carbs and protein and delicious flavor. Because again, macaroni and cheese, even if it's this, boxed version, is still pretty tasty most of the time. So what we're going to do is start off with the Canadian and the American, and I prepared both of these the way that the box is said. The first thing that I noticed is that the Canadian version uses a lot less fat. So it uses a tablespoon of margarine. It actually says margarine, as opposed to the 4 tablespoons of butter or margarine that the American one calls for. The Canadian one uses a third of a cup of skim milk, and again, it says skim milk. The American version uses a quarter cup of milk, and I don't think it specifies. I looked at the ingredients on these, and they don't seem to be that different. I thought they were going to be. I thought the American one, I was sure there was going to be more corn products in it, but they seem to be about the same ingredients. But I don't know what the parameters are. I can already tell from cooking them there was a difference in smell between the two. So I'm going to try these out, but first I want to make sure that my camera's working. So I'll be right back. Okay, that's what I did. So now, yeah, we're going to start off, and since we're doing a taste test, I won't be, so wrong as to use metal utensils and possibly corrupt each one. So this one is the Canadian version. This is the closest thing I have to a red sample bowl, Right away, it has a much different smell. That's just me coughing. It has a much different smell to the American version. I don't want to say it's cheesier, but it is funkier. There is more of a kind of cheese funk flavor to it. When I cooked these, I noticed that the noodles were considerably more pale, and the cheese sauce is more pale. They wind up looking about the same, but the noodles are almost white and translucent compared to a more yellow noodle for the American macaroni. And then the powder goes in. The powder doesn't look as orange in the Canadian version, but the American version, they both look about the same once they're cooked. So now it's just up to taste. So here is the KD. This is, they're proudly, says here, prepared in Canada. So I guess, cool. Here we go. Not bad. A little bland and kind of sweet, like sweeter than I was expecting. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because this doesn't taste like my Kraft Dinner, but it's not bad. It's just, it's got a different flavor to it. And it's not particularly saucy at all. I use the appropriate amounts of ingredients, and there's a little bit of sauce in it, but it's not really kind of swimming in the sauce. It's more like the noodles are coated with it. It's not bad. I can't really describe the flavor. It doesn't taste like cheese, but none of these ever do. So there's almost more of a like I said, a funkiness. That's all I can describe it as. So this is the American version. Not significantly different, but the noodles were both boiled, same amount of water, same amount of time. These noodles are much more firm for the same amount of time. I keep referring to them as noodles, macaroni, same deal. This has more of a clingy sauce to it, a little more sauce. Maybe it's because it's got, 4 times the butter in it. There's a sweetness as well. This means nothing, but I actually do prefer this one. I wonder if you made the Canadian one with 4 times the fat that that they normally make it with, if it would be substantially better. I never measured, butter or milk when I made these things anyway. It was like, you put enough butter in, you put enough milk in, or if you were really broke like me in my 20s, you didn't use butter or milk. You just you left some of the water in when you boiled it, and then you mix that in with the cheese sauce. Yeah, I don't want to go back to those times. I like feeling fancy and adding the butter and milk to my boxed macaroni and cheese. I think this is actually sharper. There's more of a sharp cheese flavor to it. That's the American version again. See if I can contrast these two. The Canadian one tastes sweeter to me. Which again, I'm really surprised by, because traditionally, American processed food, they're shoving so much high fructose corn syrup into everything, and there's all these corn ingredients. This has I don't want to say bland, it has a calmer flavor, not as pungent, but it does have this kind of funky smell to it. I think it's the whey, trying to get kind of a cheese, an aged cheese flavor to it. There's just something, there's actually a flavor to this I really don't care for that much. It's not awful, and I could eat, the whole thing, but this doesn't taste as good to me as the American version. And, I enjoy being an American. I have no pride towards being American. It has nothing to do with really anything. It's where my parents had sex, so that's, that's why I'm an American. But when it comes to this boxed macaroni and cheese, I'll eat the American version over the Canadian version. Sorry, Canucks. And again, I think it's just the butter. That solves it if you just add 4 times the butter that you would use in the other one. Yeah, all right. So, given my druthers, a nice American Southern phrase, I'd rather have the American than the Canadian. These were sent to me by Rhonda. Sorry, Rhonda, I hope this doesn't, put you in trouble with Justin Trudeau or anybody. I know you guys all know each other up there. But otherwise, yeah, it's cool. I've had the Canadian before, I know, but I didn't have the chance to kind of compare and contrast them. But on this one, I'm going to go with the American one, and I think it's really just to do with the ridiculous amount of fat in each serving. So we'll go back. I'm going to go make some more of this, and then try the 6 flavors. Okay, back to part 2. This is another day because there's no way I'm eating 2 boxes of macaroni and cheese. Even for me, that's a bit much. So yeah, today, this part, we're going to be trying the Kraft Dinner Flavor Boost packets. They are jalapeno, ghost pepper, poutine or Poutine. What else we got? Oh, buffalo wing. Did I say butter chicken? Butter chicken. And of course, cotton candy. Cotton candy is the only one everybody's really interested in. But I have an entire little flight, each of them in color-coded bowls, so I can sort of remember. They all smell differently, so it's not like it's a big deal. But I have a flight of macaroni and cheese that I'll be trying today. Again, thanks to Rhonda Pattison for making me aware of these and sending me these. Rhonda is simply one of the best people in the world. She just happens to be Canadian. I'm not gonna, make that a big deal because she's just awesome. But yeah, make friends with a Canadian. They're good people. So yeah, let's get started on these. The first one. What are you? I can't tell. That's maybe the buffalo chicken. I should have put labels on them, but I wasn't thinking that far ahead. So give this one a try. I think kind of buffalo. Yeah. Very cheesy, a little heat. It's basically just like macaroni and cheese with hot sauce on it, like Frank's Red Hot. That's okay. Nothing special. Now the way you make these is you actually add the cheese packet. You make a box of macaroni and cheese, and then you add the flavorant. So not only are you getting whatever heat, my asthmatic breathing there, that's awesome. No matter what you're getting, the flavor, you're also getting that cheese on top of it. So again, that's why the cotton candy is going to be challenging. Okay, so that was, I believe, the buffalo. That's the only thing it could have been. This is the jalapeno. And when I added the sauce packet to this, it actually smelled, nice jalapeno flavors. So see how this one is? This is delicious. This one's really good. Little flecks of dried jalapeno. Has a very good subtle peppery flavor, a little bit of heat, but not very much at all. This is actually really enjoyable. Okay. Since we're in the heat zone, this is ghost pepper. Ghost pepper was the one I forgot. This is the ghost pepper. Now the jalapeno and the buffalo wing are a little bit of tongue heat there. So theoretically, this one's supposed to, was going to blow the back of my skull right off. See how the ghost pepper is? Bitter. Yep, there's the heat. No flavor. It is literally just heat and bitter, which, if that's what, ghost pepper is, then whatever, good on you, buddy. Well, yeah, doesn't taste like anything. The jalapeno was much tastier. Okay, I'm going to switch it up. So this is butter chicken. This has a very herby, spicy, again, I don't want to say Indian flavor it, and I don't really know if it smells like butter chicken. It smells good. It smells really good. Excellent flavor. Really good. The only issue with this is that the flavor boost is a little grainy, but really good flavor and actually quite a bit of heat. This one's good as well. So far the jalapeno and the butter chicken are both solid. Yeah, that's really good. Again, if that's just a flavor that they just offered, that would be a good thing. So here, the one y'all been waiting for. It's in the nice little pink bowl. And look at that. That doesn't look like something your mom wants you to eat, does it? So this is cotton candy. That's all it is. Cotton candy with cheese sauce. So if you ever been at the fair and you're eating some fried cheese sticks and you got a big mouthful of cotton candy, and that's how you do it. So here we go. KD cotton candy macaroni and cheese. Oh boy. I don't know how to describe this because it's not vile, it's not bad. And again, if someone were like, oh, this is a dessert, in my country we eat noodles, and apparently there are a lot of, Pakistan, I believe, eat sweet noodles. It's not awful. Uh, I don't want to say I like it. I don't want to say I don't like it, but it's again, it's really more to do with expectations. I'm not used to sweet pastas, but the flavor itself, even with the cheese, just not bad. No, not at all. Actually, I think with the cheese and that kind of sweetness of the cotton candy, it has kind of a cheesecake flavor. So if you can think the cheesecake is decent, this is not bad. I'm taking multiple bites of it, so yeah, it's actually really nice and it's fun. It doesn't taste. It's not cloying. That the cheese kind of dials it back, but again, cheesecake is delicious. This is not that far off. So, yeah, so I'm going to do something that I said I wasn't going to do, but if you grew up in Indiana, Indianapolis especially, when you went to the skating rink or the arcade and they had a soda fountain, you would often order a suicide. Now, in other parts of the country, this is called around the world because apparently they didn't have the level of depression that we had growing up here. So when you order a suicide, that is where you take the cup and you go down the row of all the sodas, and the only question is, do you add diet or do you not add diet? That was the one. If you can't order a partial suicide, you have to do all of them, except you are allowed to say diet or no diet. Now, indie people, feel free to throw in on this and tell me if I'm wrong, but at least in our little clique in the late 70s, early 80s, if you got a suicide, the guy behind the counter or the woman behind the counter, they would do the suicide for you. Mr. Dan's on Massachusetts and Arlington, baby. That's the only thing I drank there were suicides. And you were allowed to say diet, no diet. I actually liked the diet because that little bit of bitterness threw just a little extra something in there, made a really good suicide, which now that we know that we're all diabetic because of drinking soda as children, it makes perfect sense. So what I'm going to do is a Kraft KD Kraft Dinner Flavor Boost Suicide. I have a bowl, a Pyrex bowl that's older than me, that my parents got when they first got married, and they still continue to use these because I love these bowls. And I'm going to put in first the cotton candy. There we go. Look at that. That's awesome. That is some special effects. And then we're going to put in the butter chicken. And then we're going to put in, what else? What are you? The whatever the hell you are. I still don't remember what that one is. Get all of it there. And I'm not going to eat this whole thing. I honestly want to see what a vile concoction actually is. I'm kind of loath to waste the jalapeno because that one was really good. Then we got the whatever you are. That's the buffalo, I think. There we go. And then finally, last but not least, the ghost pepper, which the only way the ghost pepper is going to be any good is if it's mixed up with everything else. My stomach is already rebelling against me because it's like, you're a freaking idiot. Oh my god, this looks awful. Did I try the poutine? I tried the poutine. Poutine is brown gravy and cheese curds on fries, on French fries. And it's one of those beloved Canadian classics that everybody talks about. And it's fine. It's just gravy with fries and cheese. But everybody elevates it like it's this incredible thing. It's like, guys, it's really just gravy fries with cheese. But so yeah, that's what we've got now. There we go. Let's see how this vile concoction tastes. Again, this is to Miss Rhonda Pattison. Thank you again. Ghost pepper. I have no idea what this tastes like. There's too much going on. It's not bad. Yeah, I went out and came out and said it. It's not bad. So this is all 6 of the KD Boost flavors mixed together. It's spicy, it's peppery. It's sweet, it's cheesy. I have a piece of ghost pepper on the back of my throat, so now I'm talking weird. Yeah, I'm going to come out and say it. This isn't bad. I'm going to call this Canadian macaroni salad. Right on. It's like a different flavor every time you bite it. If you've ever drunk the liqueur chartreuse, which is this incredibly dense herbal spice liquor, no matter however it hits your tongue, it tastes different every time you drink it. So if you drink chartreuse and you take a little sip of it, depending on where it hits your tongue, you'll taste oregano, or you'll taste cinnamon, or you'll taste whatever. It literally triggers parts of your tongue like this. That's what this is doing. And not in an unpleasant way. And again, it has that overall cheese to kind of bind everything together. The ghost pepper is actually it's spicing it up quite a bit, especially with the butter chicken. That's not bad. I would definitely, if I did this again, I would just do the butter chicken, the ghost pepper, and the jalapeno. Throw those all together, they'd be delicious. So if you can order these, I think you can get all, the only one you can't get, they're all limited edition, except the cotton candy. I don't know if they still make that. That was only for Valentine's Day. If you can get any of these, especially the jalapeno, if you like spicy food, or you don't have not even spicy, it wasn't hot, it was peppery, it's good. That's delicious. The rest of them were fine. The cotton candy was not nearly as bad as you would think. There was something I meant to say. I can't remember what it is, but again, thanks to Rhonda. Thanks to all my Canadian friends. I miss you guys and can't wait to get back up there again. I would love to go to another Comic-Con. I don't even want to start naming everybody, but Karen and Ryan and Evan and Donovan and Victoria and Autumn. All these people that I have met at comic conventions in Canada, had a blast with them. Great people, very creative, comic artists. I miss you guys, and like I said, I can't wait to get back up there again, but, you know, who knows when that's going to happen. Otherwise, KD, I prefer the American macaroni and cheese to the Canadian KD, and then all the flavors were actually fun and enjoyable, so hope you guys are all doing well. T-shirts, I'll put the link in the thing for the shirts. Those are still available. I think I've got stickers up now, too, so if you want to support me, these stupid videos, whatever, consider buying a shirt. Otherwise, I hope you're all safe and doing well. Bye.